Family, welcome to Sergeant Dorsey Speaks across all my social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and last but not least, YouTube, my subbies. What's up? I just decided to come to you guys today. It's Friday, so I just created a little thing I'm calling Fireside Chat with Sergeant Dorsey on a Friday. There's so much going on and stuff that I wanted to chit chat with you about that I decided to come on here and invite a friend. So I'm sending out a special invite. Friend, you should be getting it any minute, and come on in once you get that invite. It's been sent. There's a lot going on, and there was a little pushing and shoving on my timeline today, family, and I wanted to just, address that as well, because those of you who know me. And yeah, every now and again, somebody sparks my competitive edge. I try real hard. I fight not to be a part of that, not to get tempted, if you will. But today I got tempted. And so I'm going to talk a little bit about that. As you guys come into the room, share this on your timeline. I'm going to do the same thing because I almost forgot. And friend, I sent you the invite, so I don't know what happens. Listen, again, those of you who know me know I'm not tech savvy. I do the best that I can. And this is the first time that I'm actually inviting someone to be a part of Sergeant Dorsey Speaks Live. So I sent the invite. I don't know what to do after that. So if you know what to do it, because I've done all I can do. And I'm looking here for buttons and places to bring you on that I don't see on my computer. I'm looking on my cell phone to see if there's a way for me to do it here. And I don't know. I don't know what to do. But if I can figure it out, and you guys, if somebody's out here and you guys are watching me struggle and you know how to do that, hey, Barry, I missed you too, sir. Okay, you don't see it. I'm going to do it again. You don't see the invite. Okay, I'm going to do it again. Hold on. It says that you're invited. It says that you're invited. So... you said the Lord don't want this. I don't know why. It could be, fun. And if I could figure it out, it said invite friends to watch. Duh, you already watching. I'm trying to invite you on the doggone thing. Yeah, okay. Invite friends to watch. That was not what I wanted to do. I wanted to bring you in and have you be a part of the discussion. Oof. I'm pushing buttons and doing all sorts of stuff. Okay, so maybe I know there's a way to do it. So tech savvy family, if you know how to invite somebody in, let me know. Tell me how to do it, and then maybe I'll invite some of you, one of you, to join me and just be a part of this whole situation. Huh? Okay. Can't figure it out. Cannot figure it out. So we're gonna have to save this for another time. But I tell you what you can do. So I was trying to invite on my skate wife, my sister in my head, sister in the flesh, Christina, because she's a flight attendant, and we've been talking all day about this whole situation, and many of you have seen what I shared on my timeline earlier about that flight. I don't know which airline it was, but it was a packed flight. They said it was about 80 to 90% packed, full of folks, some with masks, others without. The article said some folks had on full full hazmat suits. How the hell do you get through customs now? I mean, not customs, but TSA, wearing a full damn head to toe hazmat suit? They allow that in the airport? Because listen, you can't carry more than 6 ounces of liquid. But you can get on an airplane wearing a damn astronaut outfit. I don't understand. I want to know how that works. Christina, if you if you can speak on it, please do in the comments. And then the next time, I'm going to figure out between now and then, I'm going to talk to some folks who know about how to bring somebody on and have you join me on a Sergeant Dorsey Speaks. And maybe, you know, I don't know if Friday would be the day where I'll bring on a friend, or if, you know, just whenever the urge hits me to bring on a friend, I'll bring on a friend. So having said all that, if there's anyone out there who's interested and wants to join me, let me know. The day where I'll bring on a friend. See, I'm doing too much. I'm on my phone right now because I'm still looking for a button that allows me to have someone join me, and I do not see it. I do not see it. What you talking about, sharp metal pieces? Girl, what you talking about? Anyway, yeah, I'm still looking as I'm talking to you guys, so don't mind me if I look a little distracted about how to bring somebody on here. I'm trying to figure it out. Hey, Sean, what's up, dude? Yeah. Okay, so I see Jamelia. That's really interesting because I see you are watching me and then it says bring them on camera. Why does it say bring Jamelia on camera? Christina, do you see something you can do on your end that would allow me to bring you on camera? Because someone could be brought on, but I don't know how to do it. So that's interesting. Jamila Adams. What did you do, Jamila? Can you tell me in the comments what you did so that I could try to replicate that? Huh. Okay. Well, anyway, we'll bumble along together. We'll figure this out. And if I can figure out how to do it, I'll do it in the midst of this. But anyway, so what one of the things, okay, so let me back up. Couple of things. Let me just share this with you because I've been wanting to talk about this, and I talked about this the other day when I was on Court TV about you know, there's a big push for inmates to be released because of the whole COVID-19 situation, and you know, being in prison ain't the place to be right now because of being in close proximity. And there's an initiative going around, certainly here in even California. I was approached by an organization that I belong to about adding my name to this list, or even participating on Monday. I believe they're having some kind of a press conference, and they wanted me to chime in about the whole should prisoners be let go. And so listen, I get it. You know, folks are dying, and you know, I'm not one to have a whole lot of sympathy for people who do wrong. And there are certain folks that are in jail who are recidivists, who are dangerous, who like it there, who might want to use this as an opportunity to get out and hurt others. And so, listen, jail is not meant to be fun. It's a place where you want to discourage people from going. And so, you know, I kind of said this on Court TV. You know, what did Beretta used to say back in the day? And I know I'm dating myself. If you can't do the crime, if you can't do the time, don't do the crime, right? I'm a little torn about whether or not folks should be released. And listen, as folks are getting released, because I saw also that Michael Avenatti, you know, the attorney, the flamboyant attorney from New York who's representing Stormy Daniels' little tink side piece, he's been let go, and he's at a friend's house. Yeah, he's at a friend's house right now. Now, I get that he's been convicted, and so maybe that's the difference, because R. Kelly has been trying to get out. He's been trying mightily since this whole COVID thing jumped off, and they like, yeah, dude, I got nothing for you. I don't know if it's the difference between being convicted and not, or R. Kelly looking like R. Kelly and Michael Avenatti looking like he does, because Avenatti's out Michael Cohen is already out and at home, going to serve the rest of his little 3 years at the house if this thing goes on for 3 years. So listen, I don't know what to make of it, family. I can't call it, but exceptions are being made. I don't know what the difference is. I'm gonna just leave it at that. Um, and like I said, um, I think if if you're involved in criminality, because listen, granted, a pandemic is something new to all of us. We've not seen this. I don't think anybody's been here long enough to say they've experienced this in their lifetime, right? So this is very different. I get that, different time. But at the same time, being in jail is not anything new and different. And, sitting next to somebody who's scratching and itching and got a thing that you don't want to get, that's what happens when you go to jail. You're around people who may not be in the best of health or who may not care about, things that you care about in terms of hygiene and, so we just going to empty out the jails? Is that what we're going to do? It doesn't make sense to me. But anyway, I don't know what you're trying to say, Christina. I don't know what you're trying to say, but I can't understand this whole thing about in the name of love. I'm not understanding it. Um, R. Kelly, Sean, you said R. Kelly knew full well his tail needs to be a solitary. Yeah, and maybe it's because of what he's been accused of. And listen, I get it. Everybody's innocent until proven guilty, right? That's still the law, if you will. So he has not been found guilty of anything yet. But at the same time, he does seem to have a proclivity, right? He seems to, do a thing that can't nobody cure him of. So maybe that's why they won't let R out. I don't know. And I'm not saying that he should be out. He's where he is for a reason. And listen, in the time that he's been in there, and okay, so he hasn't been found guilty. He hasn't gone to trial, so he can't really admit, my bad. Maybe I should stay away from the youngsters. He can't admit that. He can't be repentant, if you will. So maybe that's why they won't let him out. I don't know, but they won't let him out. However, they've let those other two out. So, that's a thing and that's going on. Federal prison is talking about allowing certain minimum and low security inmates to transition to home confinement. Do they have that many ankle bracelets? I don't know, because federal prison, I mean, listen, federal prison is already like a Shangri-La, right? It's just this side of a resort, right? So they say. Are they going to be going home with ankle bracelets? I think, that's what's happening in certain cases. And do they have enough ankle bracelets to send home with everybody that they're talking about sending home? I don't know. It's something that's going to be debated for a minute. And I don't mean to seem insensitive because, again, even though they're involved in criminality, those that have been found guilty and convicted and are doing time for real, those who will be, making big rocks into little rocks for the rest of their life, do they deserve special consideration? I don't know. Would you want them home and next to you? I'm just saying. So listen, that's that. Now back to this whole airline thing. Christina, you can chime in if you want to, because one of the things that I heard today, because, little Tink Tink is mad at the blue states and talking about not doing certain things. Him and Turtle Boy are talking about the blue states can file bankruptcy and we're not giving you money because somehow it's your fault. And Governor Cuomo said very succinctly today, yeah, New York has a problem with COVID-19 cases. Why? Because Europeans come through New York airports and they were dropping off here on their way to wherever they were going and then tagging folks with this COVID. LAX is another, place where a lot of international travel passes through, and the way the governor from New York explained it is the China connections typically come through LAX, whereas European connections typically come through New York, and that's why they wound up, in his opinion, based on some information that's available now, why they had such an influx of COVID-19 cases. Okay, Sean, you said federal prison is nothing compared to Supermax. Yeah, I got that. There's a jail complex in New England that has a population that's down 700 to just over 200 because they're letting folks go, Sean. Is that the point over in New England? They're letting people out? Okay, well, I guess we'll see, if crime starts skyrocketing when, these folks get out. Because listen, they letting them out and they ain't getting no stimulus check. So they're getting out of prison. And it's already difficult to reintegrate yourself as it is, to find work and all of that. Ain't no work to be found right now. So you letting all these people out and they're going to do what when they get out? I don't know. This is crazy. Oh, hey, future husband, what's up? I think the last time we talked, Mr. Williams, you were supposed to be getting back to me on a color scheme, sir, so I'm still waiting on that. But I appreciate you sticking your head in for a fireside chat on Friday with me. Okay, so I'm looking at this article, and Christina, I really wish you could have come in and you can type to me about it, and hopefully I can see it in enough time to speak on it, because with regards to this whole airplane situation, now this is causing me some concern because American Airlines says that they are going to be paying attention and trying to not assign middle seats on their flights. And also, once the plane has boarded, you can move around, you can relocate. But this is what it says that causes me some concern. Provided there aren't any aircraft weight and balance restrictions. Now, listen, I don't know what that means. If everybody decides they want to shift to the left, are they constantly weighing the plane while it's flying to make sure that they got the right amount of people on each side of the damn plane, front to back, left to right? I don't want them trying to figure this stuff out on the fly while we're actually in the air, that they got a balance problem. I don't even know what that means. Okay, Christina, you said, yeah, LAX, New York, and New Jersey are the international hubs. I got that. And that's why Governor Cuomo said that most of the European flights were coming through New York, New Jersey. So that's why you guys were having such an issue. I got that. Talk to me about this balancing situation, Christina, with regards to the planes. I don't know, but I think I got a eyelash or something. You guys don't mind me, but I had to get that right. I almost, went somewhere else with this with this hair in my mouth. Maybe I need to drink something. I don't know. Anyway, let's move on, shall we? Okay, so yeah, that's what American Airlines is going to do. They're going to block 50% of the middle seats so that folks, have a seat between them for flights, as I guess they start getting, these planes back in the air with as many passengers as they can, because, they want that money, right? Not really thinking about us, which brings me to Atlanta, Georgia opened up today, and there was an article that I had shared that had a picture of a barber shop. And listen, I get it. Folks are in a bad way. It's a catch-22. You're not making money. You want to open up your business. But again, while you may separate customers between one another with a 6 feet social distancing requirement, you can't put 6 feet between you and your client if you're cutting hair. And while, I'm sure the barbers in this particular store and salon, shop, and any other business that opened today, I don't know these people, so I'm just speaking generally, but how do you know when somebody has COVID? You can't look at them and tell. We know that people can pass it on and be asymptomatic. Jay, you said big people got to move to the back of the plane. Okay. Yeah, but what if it's too many of you? Then the plane is like this instead of that, right? So anyway, I don't know how that works. But back to people who are asymptomatic and you know, are out there. It could be those barbers. And listen, I was thinking about this because you guys know I'm a suspicious kind of girl, and I don't trust most things, particularly, you know, stuff that's on social media. That's why when y'all send me something to say, "Ooh, make this go viral, share this with everybody you know," you need to understand that it stopped right there in my inbox. I share nothing that gets sent to me, and I don't open up videos because I don't want anybody sending me a damn virus or some malware, so I don't open that stuff up. But anyway, the point I'm making is this particular picture could very well have been a barber, and I don't know this dude, so I'm not saying he did it, but I'm just saying it could have been the barber cutting his son's hair, and he just wanted to give the impression, because it's his business and he wants people to come in there, to give the impression that, hey, on day one, look at here, I had folks in my shop, in my chair and in another barber's chair. There were two young men, their back were to us. Don't know if they were wearing a mask. The barber had on a mask, but again, okay, do y'all want to take a chance? Really? Those were young people seemingly that were in the barber chair. And so while again, these young people think they're invincible, doesn't mean to say that when you go home, young person, that you don't infect your mother or your grandmother or your great aunt or uncle, because their immune system is compromised. And listen, speaking of not knowing fully, you don't know whose immune system is compromised or not. There are people who have been diagnosed with diseases like cancer, who have survived it, and other illnesses. And because of that, they have an issue, or someone who may be taking some medication for a thing that compromises their immune system, makes them susceptible to being infected. So you don't know who has it. You don't know who's susceptible to being infected. And why would you even take a chance? Because who needs a haircut today? Where are you going, young person? Everything is closed. You just want to be cute and lined up around the house? It doesn't make sense to me. And so, you know, there was a little back and forth this morning on my timeline about that, because someone was, you know, pointing out their professional opinion. And so you guys already know your agreement is not required. I don't know if any of you who are on Facebook with me ever noticed that I've never come to your timeline and commented. You know, I'll interact and engage with you if you say something to me on my timeline. But what I don't do is go to anybody's timeline, very rarely. And it's usually somebody that I know, and I know fairly well, and am comfortable going on their page with my opinion. Because who really cares about what I think unless you're on here listening to me on my page? Then I imagine you might care what I think. But other than that, I don't go to anybody's page and chime in about anything. And so I just feel some kind of way when you think you're going to turn my page into a damn debate stage, because that's what's not going to happen. And so as much as I try to be polite and kind and courteous, when I tell you I have no fucks to give about what you think, know that. Know that. And certainly back and forth all day long, oh, that's what we're not going to do. We're not going to do that. I'll say a couple of things, and then guess what? I'm going to introduce you to Mr. Delete and Block, because that foolishness can happen on your page, but not on mine. I say what I say, and listen, I just tell you what I think, and I don't even tell you what I think because, you know, I want you to agree with me. I'm just telling you what I think, and maybe it might be useful. And so to that end, let me say this, because when folks start trying to encourage other folks to go get a haircut because in my professional opinion, you know, it's okay. Well, when somebody tries to encourage you, particularly in this environment, to go do a thing, I would say you first, sir or madam, you first. Because if you're not willing to do that, why in the heck are you trying to get me out interacting with people who I don't know may or may not be infected, and who may or may not give me something that I could take home to somebody that I really care about? You first. So anyway, I just had to say that because it was a lot of back and forth. And for the most part, many of you who came on were in agreement with me. Not that I needed it, but you too saw this sensibility, if you will, of why today? Okay, so they opened up today. You don't have to go out today. And why would you even gamble, take a chance with your life or a family member's life? It just doesn't make good sense. Professionally, unprofessionally, there's no way to spin it where it makes good sense. And you know, we were talking about this earlier in that I don't think it's a coincidence that it seems like these businesses that are opening kind of tend to be in our community and cater to us. I tell you what, as soon as they open up tours to the White House, I'll be at the nail salon. Until fat ass is back on the golf course, squeezing his big ass into a cart and riding around with a bunch of other people who look like him. When that happens, I'll be in the nail salon. But right now is not the time. And so I don't want anybody to see something on my timeline that would encourage you because either you don't read or you can't read and you saw something that sounded reasonable because somebody said in their X amount of years of doing this thing that they thought it was okay, that somehow it's okay. And I don't want anyone to get hurt or put themselves in a bad place because of something that you saw on my timeline. And that's why I said kind of over and over, take that shit over there to your timeline. Opine over there, give your professional opinion over there, talk to your folks about what you think they should be doing today in Atlanta because somebody let them open up a barber shop or a nail salon or a gym. Tell your people that. Don't tell mine that. Tell your people. And I'm clear and I'm firm, and you're not going to sway me. So please, please, let this be the last of that. Okay, Sean, you said, I don't see how the idea is going to make any difference. Planes are set up with fuel, passengers, baggage, total weight really doesn't matter. Well, that's what you say, Sean, but I have a flight attendant on here who says, weight and balance is the passenger to luggage ratio before the plane takes off. They want to make sure that the plane is not heavy in the back or heavy in the front. So that's from someone who's in that industry, a flight attendant who says that, yeah, it does matter, Sean, it does. So, okay, Sean, you used to run baggage and fuel jets years ago. Yeah, but were you ever a flight attendant, Sean? I don't know. I'm just asking. Anyway, okay, let's see. All right, I see, Christina, you did respond to Sean and the whole weight thing. So thanks for clearing that up. You know, I try to stay in my lane and talk about the stuff that I know about, and the stuff that I don't know about. I'm real quick to say, I don't know. And that's why, you know, I pretty much, you know, stay in my lane. Stay in my lane. But anyway, okay, so I got sidetracked. So be careful. Bottom line, what I really wanted to convey to you guys today is be careful, be smart, and there is no hurry, there's no urgency, there's no exigent circumstance that would require you to be in a barbershop today because they opened up today. So be mindful of that. Over in Houston, evidently in Houston as well as some other places, there are you know, laws now where officers can enforce this mask, you know, wearing a mask, being out in public, and there are fines that go along with it. Houston police are saying, we don't have time for that. Ain't nobody enforcing that. The president of their fraternal order of police calls it an idiotic, a quote, idiotic mask order. He says that over there in Houston, their police officers are not going to be enforcing it, and they don't care about it because, according to the president of the Fraternal Order of Police, it says officers, quote, have no time to enforce this order. Now listen, while he might say that and you might read it, don't be stupid, stupid. Because you know selective enforcement is a thing. And while he may say this in Houston and other police departments, probably you won't hear a police chief tell his officers don't enforce laws. You'll hear a president of a police association say something like that. But don't get caught up and get got because you're out there and you heard that the fraternal orders president said thus and such, because the police can do certainly the opposite if they want to, if you spark their competitive spirit, if they find you guilty of contempt of cop, right? Now, they say that in this president over in Houston says right now, violent crime and property crime have both soared during COVID-19 in Houston. Violent crime and property crime, I'm not really sure. Property crime meaning what? Burglary from motor vehicle. He can't be talking about residential burglaries because everybody at the house, right? He could be talking about business burglaries because businesses are not open. Violent crime is on the rise. What is that? Robberies, thefts from folks who, you know, may have something that you want. And that's why the officers are not out enforcing it. And listen, I'm going to just tell you, because I know when I was on the department, you know, I was on LAPD during the Rodney King riots and some other stuff. And, you know, there were times when, you know, sometimes it just took officers a little longer to get someplace, or they only went where the radio sent them. That could happen. No officer wants to get COVID-19. Detroit Police Department right now is being ravaged by COVID-19. I saw that New York, I believe on next week, is going to start taking the temperature of their officers, and I'm assuming maybe this is when they start their shift. They're going to take their temperature to make sure everybody's good. No police officer wants to you know, arrest somebody because they're, you know, out without a mask or urinating in public or whatever else silly little thing you know, folks do that we could technically arrest you for, but right now is not the time. You know, stats gonna be low, city coffers are gonna be short because no police officer wants to do that, and no police officer worth their salt, for real, somebody who's been around for a minute or two, somebody who know a thing or two about a thing or two is going to get involved in that kind of police activity. It's just not going to happen. And I don't care what a police chief tells you. I'm telling you what I know because I did it for 20 years. And I did it with folks who did it for 20 years. And I know as a training officer, as the senior officer in a car, if I'm with another P2 and we see some old stupid stuff and you, I don't know if you got COVID or not, I'm not dealing with you. I'm not. And so first responders, emergency medical personnel, paramedics, you know, detention officers, all of these folks would like to have the benefit of the proper PPE because you do come in close proximity with folks, and there's sometimes you're going to have to put your hands on somebody. You're going to have to take a felon to jail. And those PPE, personal protective equipment, are not available for law enforcement. They're not available for doggone hospital staff. So you know police are going to be the last ones to get something like that if and when it becomes available. So while again, Houston PD says, you know, we're not messing with the little stuff, just be careful and don't assume that that's a thing. Don't make that assumption. And if for some reason while you're out there you do encounter a police officer, this is not the time to test the system. I've said that before. This is not the time to, you know, piss some police officer off and have them want to, you know, throw you into one of these petri dish police stations where you can be, you know, subjected to other folks who you might not normally want to be subjected to. So you don't want to piss anybody off and have them put you in jail. And listen, again, I know that there are probably some cops out there who would who would like to put you in jail for the weekend and have you sitting up there with somebody who's got an open sore or pus oozing out of a place that you didn't even know pus could come from? That happens in jail. And then listen, that if you don't know this, and maybe a lot of people don't, because if you've never been incarcerated, you don't know that, before they put you in their system, you got to be strip searched. Who wants to get strip searched right now in a place that could be, festering with viruses, bacteria, whatever. They don't give you special slippers to shower in and all that stuff. They just tell you take your naked ass over there and turn around, and then they hose you down, maybe. This is not the time to have to be a part of that. So be smart, and don't get caught up. And if someone suggests a thing to you, if you hear something, and I'm talking to us, because we are easily led, and some of us don't want to read things, and we don't want to read it all the way through. We might read the first sentence and don't get to the bottom of the paragraph where the good stuff is, the stuff that you really need to know is located. So before you do a thing that somebody suggests to you, as a good rule of thumb is you first. And then when they do it first, and they seem okay a week later, then you might consider, maybe I'll try that and see how it works for me. But we got to be smart about it, because listen, we are really truly on our own. There is a wingnut at the wheel, and this is going to be our life. This is the new normal. This is what we're going to be dealing with for some time in the foreseeable future, I believe, because everybody is so sporadic in terms of what they're requiring, what they're requesting, what they're mandating. State to state rules are different, and virus doesn't know boundaries. Virus doesn't know your social status. It don't know cute from ugly. So we have to be smart, and we have to look out for one another. And so today, I'm looking out for you. I'm looking out for you, Atlanta, and I'm saying stay in. Please stay in for a couple of more weeks. I know there's some big biker event coming up. Christina, you told me where it was. Y'all who bike know. Big biker event for Black folks. Is it Martha's Vineyard? Where does it go on? Don't go this year. Don't go this year. All of what, we have done, there'll be plenty of time to do that again. And Lord knows, I enjoy, getting up out of here and, hitting the road and hitting the air. But I have just resigned myself to the fact that I probably won't have a real meaningful vacation until maybe 2021, 2022. I don't know. It's just not worth it. And, for those of you who have businesses, I get you're in a catch-22, but I promise you, if you die, your business will go under. Your business will go under. I've not seen anybody, be able to take coin with them when they get in that casket. And so we all are just going to have to figure out other ways to make do with the little bit that we have until things get right. So having said that, family, until next time, be good and be safe.